Well, the holidays may be over, but those credit card bills, those remain. With all the gift giving and parties, you might have spent a little bit past your limit. So to help us get back on track for the new year, Robin Thompson, who is a finance and money expert, is here with some great advice on how you can start your recovery. And Robin, there may be people out there who, first of all, are feeling a lot of shame over how much they spent on the holidays. What do you say to them?
Well, it starts, just after Thanksgiving, all the way through to Christmas and then to Boxing Day. We are inundated with sales tactics and ads to spend all of our money, to make things magical for the holiday season. And now, Boxing Day, it's about getting those bargain discounts, the once-in-a-lifetime deals. And when people do that, sometimes they spend more money than maybe they planned on. So they go beyond their means. So it can start this shame cycle. So what's important to understand is that this can be corrected. There are psychological stumbling blocks mentally that we put in front of ourselves, and we can put some things in place to be able to move those roadblocks away and be able to start 2024 with a great, solid foundation when it comes to our money.
I really love that you said that there is a way out. So let's start with the first step. Fear, you say, is what stops us from making a plan to get back on track. How do we get that out of the way?
Well, fear, especially when it comes to money, they are the lies that we tell ourselves about money. So something like, I'm not great with money, or I'm bad with math, so I'm not going to manage my investments, or it's okay, my partner can manage my money for me. And when you tell those to yourself, it's actually not the truth, because you can be great at investments, and you don't have to be great with math to be good with money. So it's about reframing the conversations you have about the fear that you have. When you put yourself in action around your money, fear will start to dissipate, and you'll be able to start taking some control around what that means psychologically for you, and you can build that solid foundation for your finances.
So for people who are listening and they're like, identify with the shame, and I definitely feel the fear, what is the first line of action that people need to take to recover from this holiday spending or overspending?
And I think that's the case, is that it's how do you recover and how do you move forward? So the first thing you don't want to do is you want to put together a budget. And I know the word budget, people just look at that and feel like it's very constrictive, but it's not. A budget is there to help you see where you're spending money in places that maybe doesn't provide a lot of value for you. So itemize your list. So categorize it. What are you spending money on? What are you spending money that you need to spend money? Where don't you need to be spending money? So there's rent, mortgage, car payments. Those are things that you need to spend money on. Your discretionary, you have a bit more wiggle room there. You're gonna want to limit your credit cards. Don't use them as if you don't need to use them, because the interest rates on them are really, really high. And then finally, you wanna use any extra cash flow that you've got coming in. If you have any promotions or commissions, anything that's coming in that's outside of your regular money that's coming in, apply that towards your debt, because big chunks of cash towards your debt is going to whittle that away much quicker.
Especially now.
I know.
Sabotaging ourselves can get in the way of repaying debt, like making impulse purchases, for example. Like you were saying, you feel like it's a once-in-a-lifetime deal, so you grab it. How do people avoid doing that?
That's the thing. In 2024, let's just stop that. Let's stop the doom scrolling shopping that we're doing. So let's unsubscribe to things that don't serve us. Let's not buy the shiny trinkets that we don't need another one of, and in 2 months from now, we won't remember that we purchased them. So when we're thinking about sabotaging, it's really about taking control of what we're intaking as far as consuming content and what we actually need to purchase. And when you're looking at buying something, pause for a second. Put it in your cart, walk away from it. Spend 24 hours and think about it. You're probably gonna get an email saying it's now on a deeper discount, first of all. And then you have the time to actually think about, what is the right decision for my finances here? And does it align with my longer term goals? Because your longer term goals have to be bigger than that instant gratification you're going to get when you're sabotaging yourself when it comes to your finances.
People often procrastinate when it comes to dealing with debt, because it's hard and you want to try and avoid it, but you can't. So how can we overcome that in 2024?
Yeah, debt is really hard because you see it and it lurks there, right? It's hard to come to terms with it. But procrastination with your finances, Anne-Marie, it is a silent killer, because what happens, especially when you're dealing with things like high credit card debt or you're dealing with high interest rates, and when you're only paying the minimum balances, what happens is that anything that's not paid then gets added to the other balance, and now you're paying interest on top of interest, which can get away from you. So pay off those cards first, don't wait. You want to see if you can actually use your lines of credit that have a lower interest rate to pay off your higher interest rate debt. So if you have access to a line of credit at 7% perhaps, take that, pay off the credit card, bring that to zero, and then start to put a budget calculator together around what the debt looks like when you're paying it down. Go online, do a debt reduction so you can actually see all the months that you have and how it's coming off.
Know your numbers. This is all great and timely advice.
Save.
And save.
And
Robin,
save,
thank you
save,
so
save.
much.
Oh, you're so welcome.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.